Good morning, guys. So today's workshop is basically about Macromedia Flash. So Flash is a very popular and pioneer tool that was used to do animations, graphic designing, and other multimedia works. So Flash started long back in 90s, and earlier it was named as Future Wave, and later in 1996 Macromedia brought Flash technology, and they kept the name till 2005. And in 2005 it was bought by Adobe, one of the most popular companies in multimedia services, and they renamed it as Adobe Flash. So the first question is, what is Flash? So Flash is basically a multimedia software tool that is used to do animations, designings, like animations were earlier made using Flash, or text animations. You see this marquee text that move, or any animated text, images, graphics, etc. were made using Flash. Also, it was used to make softwares like YouTube, one of the most famous multimedia website. YouTube was built using Flash, and also movies like The Simpsons, Disney movies, animated movies, etc. were first designed using Flash. Okay, so that is Flash. And the another big concept is Flash games. Everyone must have seen these games: Tetris, Fancy Pants, Club Penguin, Pac-Man. And there were websites like miniclip.com or Armor Games, A Game, and many other websites that was there, which used to host multiple games. These games were called Flash games only because it was made using Flash. Okay, so that is why these games were this. And in websites, the small games, and also not just on websites, but also on normal softwares, you get these CDs earlier of Flash games that one CD has multiple games. So these games are small games, not very big games like the games that come currently, which has size in MBs and GBs. But no, these were small games, and these were made using Flash. And not just games, as I told, YouTube till 2015 they relied on Flash to be used, and in 2015 they switched from Flash to HTML5. HTML5 is a newer technology that came into existence, which replaced the use of Flash in web browsers basically. And also movies, as I told, The Simpsons was designed using the first version of Flash, the Future Wave. It was designed on that, and Disney also used Flash for their movies. So the history, as I told earlier, it was Future Wave. It moved to Macromedia in 96, and in 2005 it switched to Adobe Flash. So one major drawback that came into the history of Flash was by Apple founder Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was somewhat against the use of Flash. He criticized that Flash had security reasons, and he didn't allow Flash to be used on his series of gadgets of iPhones and iPads. So then there was this big fight that went on that day, and then Steve Jobs also wrote an open letter which is named as Thoughts on Flash. You can Google for that. Thoughts on Flash was an open letter written by Steve Jobs against Flash. So what happened was basically he must have thought that for his business, Adobe was a much bigger company than Apple was at that time when he was launching it. And so he found that Adobe wouldn't partner with him to work on this issues that he saw. And so it led to Apple not supporting Flash. And later, the by 20 now, okay, I will go to that later. So where it is used, so Flash is used for animations. As I told, it is used to make movies, cartoons, website animations, and other work, to make internet applications. So websites like YouTube, as I told, was based on Flash. Not now, it is based on HTML5. And also to make websites interactive. Earlier, the HTML, older version of HTML didn't support animations much, and hence they had to rely on Flash to make animations. And then desktop applications and game. There are a lot of games, millions and billions of games that are built on Flash. And last but not the least, for vector graphics and raster graphics, which you will learn later. So everyone must have seen this thing come up on your browser when you are accessing some site in which there are Flash based animations. It's asking me to enable Flash. So earlier, these things you didn't used to come, maybe for like say 3 years ago, this thing wouldn't have come. But now why this is coming is because Flash is gone to a depreciated software, and any depreciated software would be a threat to security, and hence they don't want to allow it by default, but asks your permission whether you want to run Flash or no. So yes, Flash is dying. Flash support will end on 31st December 2020 by Adobe. Adobe will stop pushing updates or security fixes to Flash. And also browsers like Firefox and Chrome has pledged that they would remove the plugin completely by the end of 2020. So, but it's not sad because Flash is overtaken by the too many futuristic softwares that was developed based on the concepts of Flash, HTML5, Adobe Air, and Adobe Animate. These are very high-end animation softwares used in productions. And HTML5 is the current standard of web development that is being used. So as you may have seen, there are many tags that they support, which allows you to do multiple animations and make the websites almost like a movie. You can make the websites in such a way. So HTML5 supported all these things, and Flash was no longer required to run those. So then you must be thinking, I'm saying Flash is dying in this year, then why we are learning Flash? So Flash is a very pioneer tool that is being was used to do all this animations and graphic designing. So then, as you say, we can't learn multiplication without learning numbers. We can't learn to write sentences without learning ABCD first. So then, yeah, the most basic tool that was used here was Flash. So you need to learn Flash first to be good with the newer softwares that comes. The concepts are always from Flash. So softwares like even Unity Engine, Unreal Engine, in which the high-end games these days are developed, all those has its relation starting from Flash. So that's why Flash is a basic tool that we have to learn. So it is being outdated, but it was the pioneer of the softwares. So Flash is the pioneer in multimedia software platform, and it is the tool that later paved way to the now popular platforms of HTML5, Unity Engine, Unreal Engine, and much more. So that was an introduction, and now the practical session would be taken by Hari. Over to Hari. You can start. Guys, you have any doubts? I guess you won't have.
Hello guys, can you hear me?
Yes, bro.
Yes,
Yeah.
Hari.
Okay, so thank you Grijo for the introduction and history about Flash. So we'll directly jump into the working with Flash. So first of all, let us discuss the UI elements of Flash. As you can see, Flash UI is almost similar to any other graphic designing tool. Take it as an Illustrator, take it a video editing software like Adobe Premiere Pro. Most of the things are similar. So if you know those softwares, it would be easy. But yeah, this is a very basic tool for making animations, as Grijo said. So you can see these tools right here, which are similar to the MS Paint like thing. So yeah, so firstly we have this tools bar. So you can see many tools right here. We'll come to these tools later. Then we have this two panels right here. One is at the bottom, and we have to the right another panel. So we can adjust and fit different panels over here. So I'll teach you how to use these panels and how to replace these panels and all. Nextly, we have this timeline, which is the heart of our Macromedia Flash. This we'll be covering in detail today. Nextly, we have this menu bar, as every software contains. Firstly, we have file. So file you can use to create a new document, to open a new document, to import videos, images, and sounds, and to export your project. You can also do publishing right here. You can change the page setup, and if you want to print the screen, you can do that also. And then we have this edit right here. In edit, we can undo, we can redo, we can copy, we can paste, similar to every other edit. And then we have view. We can use grids, we can use guides and snappings, and all those things, which I won't be using in this too much. Next, we have symbols. We'll be seeing what symbols are and how to use them. Then we have this very important tab right here, which is modify. So what modify does is it converts different shapes to symbols, it converts bitmaps, it converts, it combines shapes, it changes the timeline settings, it helps us to align things, arrange things, and transform things, and we can group and ungroup things. Nextly, we have text, which has been added in this Macromedia Flash 8. In the earlier versions, we didn't have this tab right here. So this is a new tab, which I think is absolute, because there is another tab panel right here. Okay. Nextly, we have commands, which you can use if you are making a game or you are designing some Flash for your website, which we will not be seeing today because our main concentration for today is animating things. Then control is also to play a Flash movie, to run your program, etc. And this Windows is something which I would like to start with. Firstly, make sure that timeline has been ticked, because it is the most important thing. Then we have tools, which is ticked, which is this panel right here. Then we have something called as library. It may not be enabled at the start, but if you you really need this library, because if you import something, if you create some new object or symbol, you will get to see these symbols over here, which is the library panel. And then we have this transform panel, which you can use to transform different objects, which I have created over here. And then we have this workspace layout like here. So you can click on default. Okay. So the default workspace looks somewhat like this. So because we are doing animations, so we don't need this actions panel. So you can go here and close the panel group. Okay, then we have this properties and filters and parameters over here. Yeah, and nextly we have this color over here and library. As I told you, it's very important. And the next thing we want is the transform. So here we have transform. You can click this here, so you will get this panel over here. So this was all about setting up a proper UI for working with animations on Flash. The next thing is these basic tools. So these basic tools, most of the basic tools you have seen in most of the Adobe and MS Microsoft Paint and all. So we'll start with the basic tools. You can minimize this if you want. Okay. The basic controls I will be using to maximize and span is to maximize a screen or to zoom in. You have to hold Control, Shift, and scroll up, scroll down. I repeat, to maximize the screen, you have to hold Control, Shift, and then scroll up, scroll down. So I'll be using this oftenly. And then to pan your screen, to move your screen, you have to press space so that you can move your screen like this. So these are two important hotkeys that I would like you to note. First one is Control Shift to zoom, and then space to pan your screen. Then nextly we have this thing is called as the stage. So stage is a thing that you will be working on. You will be creating new objects. You will be creating symbols. You will be making movie clips, etc. So if you want, you can change the properties. If you want, you can change the dimensions and height. You can change it to 1080p if you want. So this is really large. We don't need it for now. So I'll change it to the basic dimensions, which is 550 into 400. And then we also have this thing called as background color, which I don't think is much useful because we'll be using images for background, right? And then we have the frame rate. So frame rate is the most important thing in the whole Macromedia Flash, because whatever you do is with respect to the frame. So most of the animations which were made in earlier days were at 12 fps or 15 fps. So what is it with frame? So the more frames you give it at a particular second, the more quality you get, the more movement you get, and etc. So movies are made at 30 fps, 60 fps, so they are more clearer. Now you may have a question that why don't we create 100 frames per second, why don't we create 200 frames per second? Guys, it's really easy to say to create 100 and 200. Yeah, it is really very good. You can say very good quality is going to come for that. But the thing is, with animation, you are going to create an object for every single frame. You are going to edit every single frame. So for 1 single second, editing 100 frames is really not at all easy work. So we'll keep it at 12 for now. If you want, for the assignments you create, you can use 30 fps, which I will be showing you in a while. Then we have this ruler units here. So it's pixels, and I'm pretty much comfortable with pixels, so I'll go with it. Nextly, coming to this timeline. So guys, before starting with any work, let me explain to you what these symbols are. So this is the symbol for a layer, and this is shown whenever you can edit a document. So for example, I use the brush tool. If the pencil is here, you can draw on that layer. Suppose I create a new layer and I select this new layer. So this new layer is selected, and if the pencil is right here, it means that you are drawing on that new layer. If the pencil is selected on the first layer, it means you are drawing on the first layer. So that was all about this pencil tool. Then we have this show and hide thing. So if you select a layer and if you click this dot right here, you can show or unshow the things present on that layer. Now there is a difference between showing and locking. So showing is you make it invisible and you cannot edit it, and lock is basically you can see it but you cannot edit it. So if you are using this I button right here, so no need of using lock because it's not going to do anything. But if you want to simply lock it, you can use this lock button. Okay, the next thing is this right here, which is called as the bin. So if you click this, a new folder would be created and you can rename it, say folder. Okay, and if you want to put these layers into this folder, you need to select the layer, simply drag and drop it into the folder. Now how to know which layer is into the folder? So you can see that this layer 2 is into the folder, so it is shifted a bit right. So that's what you can do with folders. And if you want layer 1 to be in the folder, similarly you can do that. Now how to delete a layer? Suppose I want to delete this layer number 2. So you can press that and click this delete layer. And this thing right here is called as the add motion guides, which I'll be teaching you in detail when we continue with the animation thing. Okay, and this is the timeline that you can see. So presently it's 12 fps. So if I go to the 12th frame, which is this one, you can, and if you press F6, so F6 is the hotkey to create a new keyframe. So what is the difference between frame and keyframe? Guys, frames means these are all called as frames. Frames don't have any object, they don't have any keys. But when you come to this frame right here, it's a keyframe. Now why it is a keyframe? Because we have an object right here. Why is this a keyframe? Because we have another object right here. So F6 is to create a new frame, and the thing with F6 is if you press F6, it will create a new frame at that particular time point with the same objects present before the time. So as you can notice, when I pressed F6 over here, we get the same thing which were present at frame number 1. Now if you press at this 15th frame and if you press F7, F7 is another hotkey, you can see that this is a empty keyframe. So if I go to this 15th frame, I can see nothing. So there is a difference between F6. F6 creates a frame which has objects which were present in the previous frames, and F7 creates a empty frame. So this was all about frames. Okay, so next we have these tools over here. We have a rectangle tool. Okay, so I have locked this layer, I'll unlock it. Maybe I'll create a new layer and delete this older one. So whenever you are making an object, make sure which frame you are at. Okay, so I am at frame number 1 right now, and I am making a rectangle. So if you simply make a rectangle, it becomes a rectangle. But if you want to make it a square, what you have to do is you have to hold shift. So if you hold shift button, it will only make a square, and if you release the shift, it will make a rectangle. So you can use shift and make squares. The same goes with this thing called as polystar. It makes a hexagon. Okay, if you hold shift, the angles would be at 0 degree, 45 degree, and so on. So shift is basically used in all the softwares mostly to align things and to adjust the transformation, the width and height to equal lengths. Nextly, we have this thing called as oval, which we also call it as the ellipse tool. Okay, by the way, you can change the colors over here. If you want a stroke, you can give it a stroke, and you can change the color from here. So this makes an oval. Okay, now I go to I change the color of the stroke, and if I hold shift, now I'll be creating a circle. So if you don't hold shift, it will create an oval. If you hold the shift, it will create a circle. Now what this selection tool does, selection tool is basically used to select things. So if you want to select things, you can directly click on them. Now the thing with this Macromedia Flash is that it selects shapes. So these are actually shapes. So if you go to properties, you can see that this is shape. So when you select something with the selection tool, the Macromedia actually selects with respect to colors. So if I select this and move this, you can see that this green stroke hasn't moved, but it was the same shape. But Macromedia selects it as a different color. So when I select this blue color, it comes out. So it's like that. And another thing to be noted is that if you move an object to another object, like I have done right here, and if you move this object, again it selects the objects with respect to colors. So it has to be noted that when you move this tool, this part would be deleted. And another thing that you can use selection tool for is you can select objects like this and you can remove those parts. Okay, and the next thing is this another thing that you can do with the selection tool is, if you go near an object, you can see this curve shape cursor over here. If you drag it out, you can make curves. Okay, similarly you can do this with every single shape. Okay, so that was a new thing that was in that came out at this newer Flash version. It was not there in the previous Flash versions. Nextly, we have this sub selection tool. Okay, so sub selection tools you can use to edit the nodes, which I don't use much, but if you want, you can use them. I am pretty much comfortable with using the selection tools to like edit these nodes and all. The next thing we have is the free transformation tool. Free transformation tool is to change the height, change the width, change the whole object length, and you can also rotate it. Now the thing this you see is a pivot. A pivot, what it does, it changes the perspective with which you rotate things. Now if I try to rotate it, it will rotate things with that respective pivot. So this was all about the free transformation tool. Then we have this thing called as the gradient transformation tool, which I'll be using it later. Then we have the simple line tool. We have lasso tool, which you can use to select things like these, and you can delete it, you can move it, etc. So this was about lasso tool. Pen tool, again, it's similar to any other software. You can create curves with it easily, like this. Okay, and then we have the text tool, which we'll use to create text. Okay, So you can create text like these. Okay, now this layer is becoming too, okay. So, so we saw the oval tool and the polystar and the rectangle tool. Okay. The next thing is the pencil tool, which we'll be using for this add motion guide thing. But for now, the pencil tool is used to create curves. You can create drawings. You can create outlines and all. So the difference between pencil tool and brush tool is that pencil tool is to make strokes. So you can, as you can see this, the pencil tool curve has the color red. Why it has red? Because this outline right here is selected red, and the stroke here has the blue color. So this has to be noted. Pencil uses the stroke color and the brush uses the fill color. Now another thing with the brush tool is that you can adjust the size of the brush and you can adjust the shape of the brush. Okay. So nextly we have this ink bottle, which I don't use much. Then we have this paint bucket, which is similar to our MS Paint and all. Then we have an eyedropper, which you can use to select colors, to drop over another color, and so on. Then we have the eraser tool, which is used to erase things. So this was all about the basic tools. And then we have this panning tool right here, which you can use to pan, but I mostly use the space button to pan things. And there is another zoom view, which you can use to zoom things. Now this was all about the UI and the basics of Flash. Now let us head on to the animation part. So I'll delete this and I'll create a new one. So the first type of animations that we'll be seeing is the frame by frame animation. So I have taken a small example of a father hitting a child. So first of all, I'll be naming this layer as the dad. Okay, so when you're making a frame by frame animations, you mostly use the brush tool. But I will say, if you are good at drawing, if you have an electrical pad, only then go to draw it, because if you draw it with mouse, everyone knows it's going to get crazy. So for now, I don't have an electric pad. So what I'll be doing is I'll be drawing it. It won't be that good, but okay, it's fine. So first thing you need to know is, before drawing, okay, the first thing to be noted is check the layer in which you are there. So I am on the dad layer right now, and I am on frame number 1. So another thing is, whenever you are drawing, make sure that the frame is selected perfectly. So the first frame is selected, and now I'm going to draw the dad. I'll select a lower color. Okay, now I'll make this color to black, and I'm drawing a simple dad like structure. Okay, so this is the first frame actually. To go to the next frame, click on the second frame and then press F6. Okay. Now there is another thing called as onion skin. Now what onion skin does is, it shows you the previous frame. Okay, I'll show you right now. Now I'll erase this hand right here, because I want to change the position of this hand. So you can see the previous frame right here, that this is what the onion skin does. And I'll paint this like here, like he's moving his hand a bit. In the next frame again, I'll press F6, and then I'll again erase this. Okay, and finally I'll make the hitting posture. Okay, so these are the 3 frames that we made for showing the dad hitting his son. Okay, so this is how it works. And the next thing is, after hitting, he should bring the hand back, right? So for that, actually I'll create a same frame, because I want this hand to stop for another frame. So I'll press F6, so it will stand at the same frame. Now what I'll be doing is, I'll be reversing this thing. Like it, firstly I did this part, like the hitting part. Now what I'll be doing is I'll be bringing back the hand with the same thing. So for that, I'll copy the first the first two frames. You can hold the shift to copy all of them. Then I'll press copy frames. Then going to this sixth frame right here, I'll put paste frames. Now you can see that these frames are actually in this order, but I want a reverse order, right? So I'll select these frames and I'll press the reverse frames thing. So now see what you can. So this is pretty perfect. Someone please unmute and tell me, can you see this animation properly? I'll be pressing Control and Enter. So can you see this animation?
Yes.
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 Yes, okay. So is it clear or is it lagging a bit?
It's clear.
Clear hai, bro.
Clear, no? Okay, thank you. Okay, so we made the dad part. Now what we'll be doing is we'll be creating the sun. For that, I'll create another layer which will be below this. I'll tell you why I'm creating it below. So this is the sun. Okay. Now I'll create the sun. For that, I'm using red color. Okay. Now I'll create the sun right here. Simple sun. He's standing right here. Oops. Sorry for the drawing because I don't have an electric pad. Okay, the sun is right here. So at the first frame, the sun is standing quite nice. So if you want, you can off the onion skin for now. So at the first frame, this is what the situation is. This is what the scenario is. When I go to the next frame, the dad has lifted his hand, but not yet hit the sun. If I go to the next frame, he has hit the sun. The next thing we have is the father has hit the sun. So now what we'll do is we'll throw the sun right here because the father is hitting him. So I'll create another frame right here. So I'll press F6 and then I'll on the onion skin right here because I want to see how the sun goes. Then I'll use the free transformation tool. I'll change the pivot to here because he's going to fall in this like this. Okay, so we'll go to the next frame and then we'll move him more. We'll move him quite far. Then again we'll create a new frame. Okay, then another frame. And finally, what we'll do is we'll create a new thing. So I told you earlier that if you want to create an empty frame, what you have to do is you have to press F7. So I'll go to this frame and I'll press F7. Okay, so this will create a new frame where we don't have any object. So I'll have to paint it again. So I'll paint it like this. So it's like we are showing the sun has fallen down. Then I'll extend it to say 30 frames. And now you can see that at this frame right here, you cannot see the dad. So for that, you will have to create another frame right here. So our first ever animation has been done. And next, what we'll do is we'll press Control Enter. So Control Enter is the hotkey to play your animation. So someone unmute and say, is it visible to you?
Yes, it's visible.
One slap dad.
Okay. So this was the frame to frame animation. I think you guys loved it because the topic is related to you. Okay. Then if you want to delete frames, what you can do is remove frames. So for that, you have to press remove frames so that you remove the frames. The next thing we'll be learning is motion tween. So you can create frame by frame animation. Like I can create this. Wait a second. Create a new frame. suppose I want to move this circle from here to say here. So I have to create very large amount of frames. Like I have to create every single frame, and at every single frame I have to move this object bit by bit. Okay, so that's very difficult for me to create. So what Flash provides you is you can create motion twins. So how to create motion twin? First you have to select the starting point and then press F6 on an ending point, and then take your object to that particular point. You can hold shift if you want this to come in a straight line, but if you don't hold shift, it will go anywhere. So this is where I want it to be. So at the 50th frame, I have brought the circle over here, and at the first frame I have the circle here. Now if you press Control Enter now, nothing would happen because we haven't created any motion right now. So to create a motion, click anywhere or right click anywhere on the frames, and then click on Create Motion Twin. Now if I press Control Enter, you can see the animation, right? Okay, now there is something else that we can do with this motion. There is something called as ease right here, which will help you to change the motion type. Suppose for example, I want this ball to start at a very fast rate, and then I want to get it slower. Then I'll put this ease at 100, and now I press Control Enter. You can see at the start it was fast, and at the end it's slower. So this was about the motion twin part. Now another thing that comes under motion is scaling and rotation. The main thing to be noted is that whenever you are scaling rotating something, the object shouldn't be a shape. It needs to be a graphic. Okay, so I'll create a new layer. I'll go to this first frame right here, and I'll make a square. To rotate the square, we need to make this as a graphic. Now the square is a shape, right? So to make it a graphic, you need to convert it to a symbol. I'll name it as square, and I'll make it a graphic. Okay, now if you want, you can rotate this object. What you have to do is you have to click here and click anywhere on the frame. You can click here F6 to make a new frame, and then click in the middle and click on the motion twin. And now we want this object to rotate, right? So what we'll do is we'll change this rotate type. We'll change it to CW, which will make it rotate. Now you can choose how many times you want to rotate it in this particular time interval. Suppose I want it to be at 2, so I'll click 2 and press Enter. And then if I press Control Enter, you'll get a nice little animation. Okay, next thing is making a resolution change, making a transformation change. So for that, I again select a square. I'll convert it to a symbol, graphic, S2 for square 2. And then I'll go to the 50th frame. I'll press F6, and then I'll transform it. I'll make it bigger. Oops. Okay, I'll make it bigger, and then again I'll go here and I'll create a motion twin. Now we have 3 different animation types. Okay, so everyone understood this? Is there any doubt? Hello?
No doubt.
Oh,
Okay, so we'll move to the next part, which is quite little interesting. The next part is shape twin. So what we saw just now is motion twin. Now we are moving to shape twin. Now motion twin does twins with respect to the coordinates, the scaling, and the rotation. Now what shape twin does is, shape twin helps you to change the shapes. You can make a square and you can convert it to a circle. So how to do that? Go to the 50th frame, press F6 to create a new node, and then you can delete this and make a circle. So I make a circle, and then you need to press it anywhere on the timeline, and then on the tween right here, select shape tween. So you get a shape tween. Interesting, right? So another interesting fact and another interesting thing that you can do with this shape tween is that you can create two objects if you want. You can create many objects. For now I am creating two objects, say like this, and now if I press Ctrl Enter, Flash creates an interactive type of animation for this. So it's quite interesting, right? So another interesting fact is that if you want, you can change these colors. Suppose I want to change the color of this square, make it green, and this I'll make it blue. What Flash will do is, it will make a color tween of the same thing. See, the colors are changing. So this is what you can do with shape tween. So shape tween can be used to convert one shape to another, and you can also use it to change the colors. For example, if you want to do a day and night animation type thing, you can change the colors from blue to red and then to black. So all those things you can do. I'll make a new layer. Another interesting fact is that you can do this the same thing for text. Suppose I create a text, and then I'll go to the 50th frame again and press F6. And at this frame, I delete this, and suppose I make a square like this. I can again go here and make a shape tween. But wow, this doesn't show us anything because you can see these broken lines here, right? Now if you go to Control Enter, you cannot see anything because shape tween is only applicable for shapes. And if you go to this property panel right here, you can see that this particular thing right here is a static text. So there is a difference between text and shape. So how to make that? I'll Control Z. Okay. So first, before applying a shape tween, what you need to do is go to the frame, select the object, and press Control B. So Control B is to break objects. So I have broken this one single text into many characters. You can do that by going to modify and break apart. So Control B and break apart, anything can be done. Then again you need to press Control B because this still now is a static text. So now if I press Control B, it will create it into a shape. So you can see this is a shape now. And now if you create a shape tween, press Control Enter, see, you get a shape tween for the same. Okay, so this was all about the shape tween part. Nextly, I'll create another document. Now what we'll be learning is we will be learning motion paths. Guys, this is very important because every single animation will surely have this because this is a really interesting thing that you need to learn. Okay, then I'll create a circle first. So what motion path is? Suppose I have a road like this. Suppose I'll wait a second. I have a road like this, suppose, and if I want this object to move along this road like this, okay, so for that we'll be using the motion guides. So for that, first you need to create your object that you want to create a motion on, then click this add motion guides. So guys, this icon that you can see is ensures that your object has been dropped onto the guide. And if you remove this circle from here, if I bring it right here, you can see this icon. This shows that nothing is there on the guided length. If you want to bring the circle back, you can put it here. Now, to draw a guideline, you can use many different things. You can use the pen tool, you can use the brush tool, you can use the pencil tool. The most widely used thing is the pencil tool because it's really easy to make things. You can use it like, because I want to create it like this. Then what you can do is select the guide and then click on the smooth. You can click this n number of times because it will make it more smoother. So this is fine for me. Now what you need to do is go to the 50th frame, press F6 again to create a new instant, and for the same for the guided path. And now what you need to do is at the 50th frame, drag this object here and then click on create motion tween. Now what Flash does is it automatically makes the motion along the line. Now if I press Ctrl Enter, see the guide is not visible, but we can see the object. So that's the use of guide. So guys, you have any doubt regarding to motion guides?
Oh,
No? Okay. Okay, so this was all about the circle part. Now suppose I had a square. Okay, I'll delete this circle right here. Suppose I had a square. I do the same thing. Suppose I don't want a stroke, so I'll this. Okay, so I create a square right here, and going to the 50th frame, I press F6 and create another frame, another square, and delete this. Okay, now again I create a motion tween. Sometimes what happens is this square is not aligned properly. So what you need to do is go to the first frame, check if this circle is properly aligned, then go to the last frame. See, this is not aligned properly, right? So, oops. So we need to align this, align it with the motion guide. Now if you press Ctrl Enter, the square is aligned to the path. But the problem is it's not rotating. Suppose you had a car, okay? If you had a car instead of a square, it would have been really crazy, right? Because the car is moving without changing directions. So for that, we have something new which has been come into Flash. What you can do is go to this first frame and rotate it first so that it is tangential to the path. So this is already tangential. I'll go to the 50th frame, and this is not tangential, so I'll make it like this. So it adjusts the path, and then what you can do is click anywhere on the timeline, and then you can see the rotate right here, right? Below that you will see the orient to path thing. So what this does is it changes the direction of the object as in when you change the guideline. Now you can see that this square rotates with respect to the guideline. So is this clear to everyone?
yes.
Yes.
Okay. So this was all about orienting things and making a guideline. The next thing that most of us don't use, but it's really important. I delete these layers. The next thing is called as the masking. What masking does is it masks one layer and the mask is placed always above the layer. So if I want to create a mask, I'll create a simple layer. And then what I'll do is I'll right click and create this mask. So this is the icon for mask and this is the icon for the layer which is masked. So you need to make sure that these two icons are visible. Okay. So next thing what we'll be doing for now is we'll be creating a text. Oops, I have not created a frame. So I have to unlock these and then I have to type. Okay. Suppose I create this name right here. I place it here. Same goes with the 50th frame. And now what you can do is you can create a rectangle over here. So I'm creating a rectangle over here like this. And then at the 50th frame, what I'll do is I'll move this rectangle like this. Okay. Then what I'll do is I'll create a motion tween so that this triangle moves like this. Now if you press Ctrl Enter, see, you can make cool animations with help of this masking and everything. Okay, so masking is basically used to hide objects. The place where mask is there, the objects will be visible. Whenever the mask goes out of this text will no more be visible. So this was a small masking part. Okay. The next final thing we'll be seeing is the basic parts is the movie clip. So what happens is when you are creating big movies like Pokemon, Doraemon, there are few things that keep moving always, like a person walking, a cloud moving. So clouds are moving always. So you cannot keep editing them throughout the animation, right? So for that, there is something called as movie clips. So I'll make a cloud for now. Okay. To make a cloud, I select blue color. Make a cloud. So I've made a simple cloud like this. Now what you can do is convert to a symbol called movie clip. Now what this does is it makes an animation inside this. So to access that animation, you have to double click this so that you go into symbol 1. So this was symbol 1. So you have reached the another layer, which is the layer of that symbol. Now you can animate it right here. Suppose the first frame I want here, and the next at the 40th frame I want it here. I can create motion tweak, and then if you want to go back to your scene, you can press the back, and then if you press Control Enter, you can see this object moving continuously. So even if there is only one single frame in this cloud, you can see this cloud moving continuously. So that is what movie clip does. So these were all the basics of animations in Macromedia Flash. So now we'll be heading to a small project that I have made. Okay. So we'll create a new project. Okay. For this, we'll be needing the library panel right here because we'll be like importing different things. So before that, if you have any doubt regarding anything that I've explained till now, please do ask me. I'll wait for a minute.
अरे तूने जो वो सर लाइक द जो रेक्टेंगल था वो जो मूव कर रहा था पूरे पाथ पे, तो उसमें कन्वर्ट भी कर सकता है क्या वो रेक्टेंगल को सर्कल में ऑन द गाइडेड पाथ?
No, you cannot do that because जो मैंने किया था वो मोशन ट्विन था, and you cannot mix up motion twin and shape twin. So देखिए प्रॉपर्टी में जाता हूँ मैं. So मैं कई बार भी क्लिक करूंगा ना, so एक मिनट, सपोज मैं यहाँ पर बनाता हूँ F6, मैं यहाँ पर लेके जाता हूँ. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर देख तुझे ट्वीन में ना दो ऑप्शन मिलेंगे, मोशन और शेप. तो तू मोशन को और शेप को दोनों को मिक्सअप नहीं कर सकता. सो दैट्स द थिंग. इफ यू वांट टू क्रिएट अ मोशन, यू हैव टू क्रिएट अ मोशन. अगर शेप चाहिए तो शेप. सो यू कैन नॉट मिक्स अप थिंग्स. ओके
ओके ओके.
एनी अदर डाउट्स? Okay, so we'll head to the project right now. I'll create a new document. So guys, when it comes to animating things, animating a project, it's really difficult to draw on every single frame, right? So what you can do is you get different assets over the internet, like you get a free pick and all. Okay, so we get different assets over there. So like I have made few assets for this project, so I'll import them. So if you press import to stage, the image will be directly placed on the stage, but we don't want that. So we can go to file and then import to library. So we'll get all these assets on this library. So I have made this walking girl animation thing. So I'll select all, this water and background and ground. Okay, so all these things have been selected to the library right here. So before creating any single animation, it's really important to understand the timing part. So what I have planned is I have planned to make a 200 frames animation. So that has to be planned earlier. I'm going to create it at 30 FPS, and I'll make these dimensions remain the same. Okay, I'll name the title as Coconut Girl, because that is what we'll be creating in this scene. So what we'll be doing here is, there will be a scenario, a scene right here. There will be a coconut falling from a tree. A girl will be running from this and from this side, and she'll notice that coconut. She'll run towards the coconut. She'll take that coconut over her head, and then she'll exit the scene. So this is what the scene we are going to create for now. सबसे पहले we'll be creating a background. So for that I'll name this as BG. Okay, so I've created the BG. Now I'll drag this image over here. Okay, I'll adjust the size. Okay, something like this, and then height a bit. Okay, so this is our background right now, and then I have created a platform for the girl to walk, so which I have named as ground. So I'll place it over here. Okay, then I have created something called as the water. Okay, by the way, I don't want this water to be right here because we'll be animating water, right? So it is always better to create it on another layer. So I'll be creating another layer for the water. Then I'll be placing it over here. Now I'll be actually extending this a bit. You will understand in a while why I am doing this. Okay, something like this. Now this is what our scene will be looking like. So there is a small white spot right here, so I'll adjust that. Okay, now it is perfect. Actually this has to be extended a bit. Okay, now this scene is perfect. Now first of all, what I'll be doing is, since I know this animation is going to be of 200 frames, I'll go to the 200th frame, which is over here, and I'll press F6 for both these layers because we want this to happen for 200 frames. Okay, this layer has to be shifted a bit. Okay, now it is perfect. Now what we'll be doing is we'll be animating this water waves. So for that we'll create a movie clip, as I said earlier, convert to symbol, and then I'll name it as waves and press OK. So now this has become a movie clip. If you go to the properties, you can see that this is a movie clip. Now you can double click it, so you move to that particular movie clip. And what I'll be doing is I'll be moving this water wave from here to here. Okay, so like that. So for that I'll select a particular time. So suppose 120. So I'll press F6, and at 120 frames I'll be moving this to here. Okay, and then I'll be creating a motion tween. Okay, and now if I go back and I press Control Enter, Wait a second. I'll have to create it again, so I'm creating it again. So this is the movie clip. Okay, then I'll double click on it and then I'll create a motion tween. So this is moving. Maybe I will have to delete this because there is some error. Okay guys, I'm doing this wave part again because there is some error going with this. So I'll place this water over here. I'll increase the size. Okay, somewhat like this. And then I'll be pressing and then I'll be converting it to a movie clip called waves. Then I'll be going inside this and then I'll be creating a tween. Create a motion tween. Why is it not happening? Hello, can you see the water waves moving?
No.
No, right? Guys, I think there is some problem with this. So I have created this project earlier. I'll open that and explain you. So now is the water moving?
Yes.
Yes.
Right, okay. So what I did was I created this movie button, which is this water. I don't know why it's not working actually, because it should work. See, I've done the same thing and the water is moving right here. Don't understand why it was not moving on that Flash project. Okay, so what I have done is I have created two water waves. This first layer was the same thing I did from the first frame to the 100th frame. I have moved this particular water from right to left, and then second layer what I have done is I have copied the same thing and I have placed it. Just what I have done is I have reversed the thing by pressing on this reverse frame, so it's moving in a reverse direction. So that creates a water effect which you can see right here. Okay, so this was about animating water. Guys, you have any doubt with respect to animating the water? Hello?
No.
No. Okay, so this was all about the BG layer. I'm locking it now. Then what I did was I created this coconut layer, which you can see over here. So what I have done is I have created this guideline over here. So this is the guideline for animating the coconut falling from the tree. So at the first frame, the coconut is right here. Then I have created a motion tween along a guided path. So it falls over there. And then what I've done is I've created a subject. Okay, I've created a subject. So for that, this subject, what I've done is I've created a motion tween. So what you can see is it's moving, right? And another thing what I've done is I've created a movie clip for this subject. So what I've done is this movie clip is at the first frame, the subject looks somewhat like this. And then at the 6th frame, I have changed this subject to this walk B. You can see right here, right? And then if I go to this 11th frame, it turned into walk C. How you can change the sprite is you can click here and you can swap the bitmap. So whatever you the motion you want, you can select it from here. Then I've done the same thing for the whole project. So this will create a smooth motion. You can get these bitmaps on different websites like Freepik and all. This I have selected from Freepik. I'll go back to the animation. So what happens is whatever you do in this timeline over here, the character will be moving with respect to the movie clip. So whatever you do, the character will keep on moving. So I have created a motion tween. So the character moves from this part to this part. I have also kept the ease as 100 because I want this character to move and stop right here. And then I have created another motion tween from 90 to 130. Then I have made it stop for a while. And then in this frame, what I have done is I have taken the coconut from the bottom and I have put on its head. And then I am moving everything. Another thing which we can note is the shadow. So I have created another layer called as shadow. Okay, so this is the shadow layer which I have created. So you can see the shadow is also moving with respect to the character. So this was my mini project. So if you want to run it, you can press Ctrl Enter. So I think there is some issue with making movie clips. It was not running. So because I would have shown you the whole project otherwise. So is it understood, guys? You have any doubt with respect to anything in this project?
No.
No, right? Anyone has any doubt how I animated the coconut, how I dropped it from the above tree, how the character is moving, how the character is swapping the bitmaps? Any doubts?
No doubts.
Okay. Thank you guys, that was all my part. And now if you want to export this, you can go to file, you can click export and export movie you can do. Okay, you can do it GIF or otherwise I would recommend it to do you to do it in a Flash movie type. So I've already created these things. So this was all about the project. So if you have guys you have any doubt, you can contact me on WhatsApp. So this was all about the Flash workshop. Thank you guys.